NBC2 proudly presents Valley Showcase with your host, Doug Edge.
Good morning, happy Friday to you. It's another edition of Valley Showcase, and many of you may have had a lot of time inside last week with all the snow and ice, and hopefully you took advantage of that time and maybe got ready to file your taxes. Andy Stadler's with us now from Stadler Tax Services here in Stadler & Company here in Terre Haute. And Andy, I know as folks kind of survived through last week's snow and ice, a lot of them hopefully did take advantage of that time and got their things in order to be able to prepare for their tax season. We hear this term enrolled agent a lot. I know you use it a lot. What does that really mean? What is an enrolled agent?
An enrolled agent is a person that's licensed by the federal government to practice in tax law, and they specialize in individual and small business. This is the type of person that's basically their full-time job, only working in taxes for an individual and small business, and that's what they specialize in. Okay, and is there, when we hear CPA, enrolled agent, yes, there are all kinds of people that file taxes, or try to at least, I should say. Yes, there's a lot of unenrolled people here in the Wabash Valley area that does tax work. These are folks that generally may only take a week or two class, and you know, they try to do tax work. They really generally mess up your tax returns really bad. So you really want to find a licensed person, an enrolled agent or a CPA, to do your tax work. And they can't represent you if they're not an enrolled agent or a CPA, right? They cannot. And when they mess up, it's not them on the hook, it's you. It's your tax return. You're the one on the hook. So how do I find and hire a licensed tax professional? Well, certainly call around town is one way. Go to the internet and Google or Bing and just type in enrolled agent or CPA, and you'll get a whole list of them that's licensed and qualified here in the Wabash Valley area. Okay. One of the things I know that people always get concerned about is when they get a IRS notice in the mail. Yes. Could be from a result of one of these unprofessional folks that have filed their taxes for them. What should you do if you do get one of these in the mail? Well, the first thing to do is open the letter. We get a lot of clients that they're scared of the letter. So certainly open it, review it, see what it's about, and then get with an enrolled agent or CPA to help you respond back. One thing is, 40% of these letters that the Internal Revenue Service sends out, and they send out millions of letters each year, but 40% of them are wrong. Okay, they are sending you a proposal saying you owe additional money or such. 40% of the time that is wrong. So just because you get a letter in the mail from the IRS that says you owe, don't take it for granted. Really have an agent look at it. If you do get a letter, be sure to open it up, but then review it. Make sure you respond. It's real important for you to respond back. And if you disagree, and you probably will, if you disagree with the letter, explain why you disagree. It's going to take the IRS about 90 days to review your response to them, so give them a little time to get back to you on your response. So it's not a quick thing. We're dealing with the federal government, right? That's right. It's going to take some time. All right. Let's talk about the most popular tax credits as folks are getting ready to file those taxes. What are some things they need to be aware of that are out there for them to take advantage? There's a lot of tax credits out there each year. Some of the most popular ones is the child tax credit. If you have a child living at home with you, you're claiming a child, they're age 16 or younger, you get a $1,000 child tax credit for that. The college credits, the Hope credit, the Life Learning credit, the American Opportunity credit, you can get up to $2,500 of your college tuition refunded back to you in your tax return, and that's a pretty big deal. That's significant, yeah. If you bought one of the new hybrid cars, you get a nice tax credit for that. If you did some energy efficient things to your home this past year, new windows, new doors, insulation, there's a nice tax credit for that. Up to $1,500 of that can be refunded back to you. Wow. There's just a huge variety of tax credits out there that most people are either not aware of or don't know that they're even eligible to get. You mentioned some of the things for college education and those kind of tax credits. What about the younger kids, daycare, things like that? Are there some benefits there? There is. If you have a child in a daycare type facility, then you can get a tax credit of up to 20% or 30%, depends on your income level. You can get up to 30% of that refunded back to you in your tax return. Wow. So is there a list somebody can go and see like what all is available, or is it best just to sit down with someone like yourself? It's probably a whole lot easier to sit down with somebody that's got some experience. Help me sort through this. Yeah, there's a list. It's going to be several volumes of books, okay? Yeah. So, yeah. Tell me about online software. Store-bought tax software seems to be real popular. We see all the ads on television for them and on the internet. What's some pros and cons to those systems? Well, if you're a single person, have no deductions, you're just unmarried, that may be a good thing for you. But if you have children, if you own a home, if you have a small business, if you own rental property, you really need to see a professional. TurboTax right now has got a big issue going on, as in they had a software malfunctioned, and a lot of the folks are supposed to be getting their refunds here within the next week. Are going to have to wait till the end of the month now because of their software malfunction.
So they just delayed everyone.
They delayed everyone.
Oh my goodness. So the advantage, obviously, and sometimes I think it's a disadvantage, it's almost too simple for those that have maybe a simple filing to click a button and go somewhere and fill in a digit. What are some things that people need to, you mentioned some of the line items that, if you're in this situation, maybe you need to come to a CPA or an enrolled agent. What else should they watch out for in terms of the price point? They look at price. Are they really saving money by buying some of the software?
No, they're not. There's a company out there called PC Novice. It's a PC magazine. They actually did a review, and they looked at the store-bought top software or downloading the software, and it was determined that you're going to spend more or as much as what you would go see an accountant.
So
and an accountant's going to help you a whole lot.
All right. Well, if you've got questions and you'd like to get them answered about this tax season, visit Stadler & Company Tax Service. Andy, it's always great having you in. 6 locations in Terre Haute. You can look them up online at stadlertax.com or call them at 812-478-2800.